true scientist, that shit's going to blow up. You're toast.
I wonder what they're going to do about like the whole news thing.
I don't know if you could ever call a 6'5" guy that's 300 pounds pure muscle cute, but you know,
he's adorable.
It's all.
I was creaming my panties.
Stick around, 'cause I am coming back, and I know someday I'm gonna make it better.
We talk about shit we talk about anyway. Just
Seriously.
That's the plan. That's the dream. But anyway, all right, let's get to the show.
He's like scrolling through and he's finding all this good shit. And then he's got good info.
I'm never watching something that sucks,
Yeah,
Jamie.
that-
It's all good stuff,
that
man.
is
It's all
some
good
stuff that sucks.
Hey, you like Alien versus Predator? Get off that.
No, he likes Back to the Future 3.
This is true.
Hey, man, I like all the Back to the Futures. Dude, we got stuck in the Lego store the other day, and I was like, yo, that
Yeah.
Ghostbusters firehouse needs to go down, dude. It needs to be built by me.
Oh, did you get it?
I'm really thinking about it.
The firehouse?
What's your birthday's in August, right?
Dude, that thing is fucking legit. And then, did you see they have two?
Wait, what figures do they have?
Oh, they had the librarian ghost.
No, but did they have the ones from the first or from the second one?
You could get the second one, but who the fuck wants that? This is the one I was looking at was for the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
where they
the
walk in there, the library, and it goes,
Yeah, but
yeah.
it
That's
had
awesome.
it had a mix between 1 and 2 because it had the zombie taxi cab driver,
Yeah, yes.
and then it has obviously Slimer, and then it had all the
Did it have Janine?
it had Janine Melnitz, of course.
So here's a question.
Lego does it right,
I've
man.
never been in the Lego store. What is the like that you can buy? Because I know they can make these big monstrosity Legos. What's the biggest Lego you can buy to build?
All right, they have
Biggest size of each Lego?
No.
Oh, biggest
they
set.
have a two. That's what I was going to bring up for him. They have 2 Millennium Falcons.
And they also have a
There's-
Death Star. I know that's
But
like
there's
ridiculous.
There's
Yeah.
one like this that's like $180, $200.
Yes.
Okay, and then they got an $800 one, which is like this.
Yeah. It's like, what?
Dude,
8,000
legit.
pieces or
Is
something?
it?
It is awesome.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Dude,
All right, let's get started.
I was creaming my panties.
Lego does do a good job, man.
Dude.
They did a great job on their video games, too.
Let's talk about Legos.
All right, we've been talking about it for 2 minutes now, so we'll get started then.
Real quick, do you know how
Yeah.
Bezos is? Jeff Bezos is Bezos is estimated $13 billion richer.
Now
He's
about to,
150 billion total.
Now it's 50 billion. I read 145.
Yeah,
I
he's
know
150.
now he's about to get richer because he just increased the price by a lot.
yeah. He's
I know he's 50 billion.
Fair market.
I know he's
Fuck
50
you.
billion higher than the next closest guy.
yeah, it's ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
I think the next closest guy is Gates. Isn't
90
it?
billion.
Yeah.
I think it's just going to hurt him though. I think after he does they raise that price, I guarantee it hurts his fucking
What, the
and
Amazon
then
Prime
they'll
price?
drop it. Yeah,
What is he raising it to?
he's raising a lot. It's up to like 119 now.
Yeah.
119.
But it's only $20. It's not like at the end
Dude,
of the
it all
world.
depends on what you do. Like, it's so
I'm just-
logical, man.
No, I'm with you, but I'm saying like that's when other shit is going to start coming out.
They just did an
Yeah.
Amazon Day today where everything was like
Yeah, and it was
40% off
shit
across
was
the board.
crashing like crazy.
Yeah, they
Was
weren't
it on
prepared.
today?
No,
It was today.
that was today.
It was
Prime Day.
And there was like lightning deals that were like TVs that were like 50% off and shit.
I saw this illustrator artist I follow on Twitter. He had a painting that he did of Optimus Prime, and he said in celebration of Prime Day.
That's
It's
cool.
pretty badass.
Yeah,
All right, let's get
you
started.
should have tweeted that.
I should have. I think I might have retweeted. I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Okay, you guys ready?
Yeah, man.
10-4.
All right. I wasn't ready. Hello and welcome to this week's episode of the Nick, John, and Jamie Show. I am John.
Nick.
And I'm Jamie.
So we're fresh out of Marvel movies this week, and we're fresh out of Star Wars. We're fresh out of Star Trek. So what do we do this week? We talk about everything else. And what I really want to talk about is the everything else that's all in San Diego Comic-Con. Well, almost everything else.
Marvel pulled out.
Marvel is not sitting in
Is Star Wars in it then? Is it all Disney that pulled out or just Marvel?
That's a good question. I know that Disney has their own D23 Expo type of thing.
And you know, in a couple of years, they're just going to roll with that.
Yeah.
Just like anything else they're doing.
Especially with the Fox acquisition. And yeah, they're going to be huge. But I think they'll always tilt into Comic-Con.
Since you brought the Fox acquisition, there's news on that. I didn't know that it actually won't take place until next summer. They're like ironing out everything. I mean,
Wow.
I think it's like the deal is accepted, but I think with a merger that big, I think everything dotted and signed won't take place until next summer that they can officially move forward.
Through.
Yeah.
I was surprising me. I thought once the deal is signed, it's like, all right, go. But
It's a lot of assets.
no, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm sure there's a lot of licensing rights that are associated with each one. Everybody still has to get paid.
No, what?
You know what I mean? It's like if you're an actor or something and you have actor, director, talent, whatever that's associated with programming that's tied to that particular show, then the check's got to get cut from Disney now.
Yeah.
You know, so even something as little as accounting has got to be a Herculean feat.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Pay up, sucker.
And that's why that's another reason why they're quote unquote saying they're not going to release anything from Marvel, because they're saying that even Kevin Feige, did I say that right?
You did. Well done, sir. Well done.
I'm getting there. The stipulation or the rumor is that they don't want to like say anything going forward outside Infinity War. 2 reasons is because of the acquisition, and also because they don't want to spoil too much from Infinity War.
I can see that. I mean,
You know, they only green lit. There's a couple movies on the docket, but there's only 2 movies after this that are actually greenlit, and that's Guardians and what was Spider-Man. There is Black Panther 2 and Doctor Strange, but they actually aren't in pre-production, anything like that. The other 2 are.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Whatever is not already in process, in the can, or whatever.
Yeah,
On the docket,
On
so
the
to
docket.
speak.
on the docket.
On the slate. Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have plans for all kinds of stuff. I mean, this is still phase 1, really.
No, this is this is phase 3.
I'm sorry, you're right. They haven't. We all knew that it was going to lead up into. At a certain point, we knew it was going to lead to Infinity War, right? So I misspoke. That's what I meant as phase 1. But you're right; it's phase 3. But they haven't really. I don't know anything about phase.
He said I'm right again.
Phase 4. Wait till we get the fact check.
Oh, he got me on something. I know that.
I know.
Yo, you know what I was thinking about real quick? I wonder what they're
I don't
going
think I do.
I wonder what they're going to do about like the whole news thing.
What do you mean?
Think about that. Do you think they'll still do? Because like we all know, like every news thing has like their agenda. Like, you know, like ABC has theirs and like Fox has theirs.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
That's going to be weird or interesting, actually.
where
they
political bias lean.
Yeah. Well, they like still. I'm sure they'll still keep it because they're still a good. You know what I mean? They're still a good market.
Now you're
Yeah.
getting into politics, dude.
No, but I'm
They
saying
gotta
like
clean-
I'm not
they
talking
got to
about,
clean that Fox house out.
But I'm not talking about the politics side. I'm talking about like the business side of that. Like what's, you know what I mean? Because there's still, whether you agree or disagree, there's still money to be made.
But if you
and
think
that's
of-
what at the end of the day.
I
that's
agree.
Totally, it's a business.
So, and I was re-listening to last week's episode, and I got my wires crossed when I was talking to Nick. But the chairman of Marvel is Alan Thorne.
Good segue.
He's not
fact check.
He answers to.
He goes to Big Bob, right?
Wow. But in the end, it's still Big Bob.
It's still Big Bob, but Feige reports to Alan Thorne. But the reason I'm bringing it up, not just to bust your balls, Nick, but the reason I bring it up is because that's a separate company. It's a separate company. Yes,
Separate
It's under the umbrella.
It's under the umbrella.
It's like Pepsi and Frito-Lay.
Absolutely.
It's all under the umbrella of PepsiCo or something.
And put it this way: if like Marvel decided, if whoever they had that was the head of Marvel decided to run that company into the ground, Disney would make the decision to replace them and all that. But
So here's a question. I know it's a Star Wars question. Who is the head of Star Wars then?
that's Kathleen Kennedy.
She's both. She's the president and
Oh, I don't know if Star Wars has
a
a
good question.
chairman. That's a good
because if
question.
Marvel has Feige's the equivalent to what Catherine Kennedy is.
Yeah, that's a good question. I'm not sure.
It's interesting. I just thought about it. That's all.
Might have to shift my look at my portfolio. I'd have to shift some money around.
Where's our lackey man? Look that shit up. Mark, where you at? Mark.
Tickner on the interwebs. So let's get to box office. Weekend box office. This being Monday the 16th. Hotel Transylvania.
I'm going Saturday.
Yeah, I had
3. It's number 3,
It's
right?
number 3.
They're pretty good. The other two are good.
They're good. They're entertaining.
I've
They're
never even heard of them until this.
$44 million. Yeah, it's clever. It's Adam
Son
Sandler
of-
plays Dracula, and Dracula runs this hotel to where monsters get to have a vacation.
Yeah. Now they're doing a summer vacation on a boat, and
Yes.
they try to kill the monsters or something like that.
No, the daughter or granddaughter of Van Helsing, who's a monster slayer, is on the boat, but she's posing as like someone who wants to be romantically involved with Dracula.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw the preview.
The kids love it.
I'm sure they do. I don't.
It's actually pretty good. I don't mind. I think it's good.
Yeah, I mean, my kids are 13 or 12 and 13 years old. They're kind of, it's just past where they are now.
So you're thinking anything below 10?
Yeah, easily. At below 10, that's a win-win. That's a good dad's day out. Next is, and I kind of was hoping it was still number 1, but Ant-Man and the Wasp went to number 2.
I heard it dropped off majorly.
Yeah, it did 29 million, and it's I believe it's third weekend. Yeah, third weekend. It's still making money. Its total gross worldwide is 284 million, so it's going to hit 300 million easily. But they're not investing a ton of cash in this movie. This isn't. I think they said the budget was under $100 million.
So
they're good.
it's a win.
Yeah, and it's under compared to what they're doing for all the other Marvel properties, which is like Infinity War, which is $150 million budget or $200 million.
I think
budget.
it was 2 something.
Was it 2 something?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so this is an easy win for these guys. So yeah, and then Skyscraper, which I went and saw this weekend.
You believe that? He actually saw that.
I shit on this movie and now I went and saw it. But my kids were like, yeah, Dad, let's go see it. We were dying to see it. Let's go, go, go. And you get this real good discount on the matinees on Sundays at the local dine-in theater. And it was fun. It's the same old movie. It's nothing new. I was joking around with, we were talking about this. I was joking around with you about it today.
Yeah.
And it is, it's spoilers. Is it Die Hard? Yes. Is it Towering Inferno? Yes. Did The Rock say those exact same words? Absolutely. And I got to be honest with you, knowing all that, all the predictable tropes that are part of this movie.
Still enjoyed it?
I enjoyed it, and I got a little ratcheted up. Like, my butt was puckering a couple times, I was like, holy shit, this is really kind of got me. And I knew full well, it's like, he's not going to die. His family's going to be perfectly safe. The villain is going to die from some tragic fall from the top of this skyscraper. And knowing all that, there were parts when I was like, whoa. Holy shit, like gripped up. And then my son, my youngest, was like reaching over to me. He said, Dad, feel my bombs. And they're all damp. So, I mean, they enjoyed it. We enjoyed it. It was a good time.
It's worth that $5.
It was definitely worth that $5.
Not the 13 usually.
No, I wouldn't have went 13. But fun movie. I thought for sure it was going to be something I watched on video, but it turns out I was in the theater. And the theater was fairly crowded.
What did its ranking was?
Probably 3/4 full. What's that?
What, it was a third on the list?
It was third. It came in at third. It was 24 and might as well call it $25 million. It had a budget of $125 million, and
The Rock probably had 20 of that.
yeah, right.
Yeah, man, he's high paid.
Yeah.
But this is where it kind of stings a little bit. They're saying it's worldwide so far at $64 million. So they haven't made their money back yet.
I don't think they're going to.
Nah,
I mean, there's certain movies you just know it's just not going to be good.
yeah.
I mean, even if it's a decent movie, come on. Like you said, there's already been multiple movies that have done that kind of.
It is It is like
Yeah, go to the beach or skyscraper. Tough choice.
it is like almost beat for beat, like about probably 20 thriller movies that I've seen in the
Yeah,
past.
I'm sure.
But entertaining. It's surprisingly entertaining. Like,
The Rock can do no wrong.
he is goddamn, you're right, bulletproof when it comes to entertaining. The guy is
Like he makes shit
charming as
movies, right? And
Yeah.
like you can't say the Baywatch movie wasn't shit. There's a bunch of other ones.
Uh-huh.
But you're right. In a sense of Hollywood, he's bulletproof. They still keep making movies for him.
Absolutely.
And
100%.
I love him too. He's just, like you said, he's just like that. Just I don't know if you could ever call a 6'5" guy that's 300 pounds pure muscle cute, but
He's adorable.
It's almost like that. I just was watching Jumanji the other day
yeah.
with
It's
with Taylor and my daughter and my wife. We're just sitting there chilling watching. I was like, God damn it, this guy! And you have Hart in it too. It's just.
Well, did you ever see what was the movie where he was the special agent with Kevin Hart?
Yes.
Like
It's good.
The character he plays in that movie is fantastic.
He's a fat kid. He got they got pulled his pants down or something when he was
they
younger.
took his towel off in front of the whole
Yeah,
school.
that's what it
Yeah.
was. And it's just, it's great, man. It's just
Yeah.
like he makes these characters like, all right, I don't think I would go to the movies to see, but if it pops on TV, I'll watch it.
It's
It's
a
pretty
done
good.
deal.
Yeah.
It's entertaining. He's an entertainer.
He should be like, Netflix should like pay him, like Netflix should go for a,
Like an Adam Sandler deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. And it would be even more, I'd probably watch it.
Yeah.
I don't watch the Adam Sandler shit because you know what? I'm sorry. It's old.
So I was listening to, again, I keep aping off of Fat Man on Batman, but I was listening to Mark Bernardin talk about the Idris Elba being cast in the next like Fast and Furious movie with
Who's that?
Idris Elba. He's a awesome British actor. He played he was the character on Thor with the sword who could open up the gate to Asgard.
Okay.
Ragnarok, you mean?
No, he was a dude. He had the golden helmet.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. I know who you're talking about.
But he really he played in Luther. He
He just played in that Tower movie, right? With McConaughey.
I didn't see it,
I didn't see it either, but Dark Tower or something
but he
like
was
that.
really good as Stringer Bell in The Wire. Like,
See, I don't-
Oh yeah, shit.
yeah, that's where he was like, God damn.
Oh wow.
That and Luther was really awesome.
I didn't even.
I
think
didn't
about
see.
that.
I didn't watch Luther, but I know who you're talking about. He's a good. They actually considered him for James Bond, didn't they?
Yes. Oh, he would have been a badass.
Yeah, why
James
didn't
Bond.
they? Why they should switch it up?
Yeah, that would be.
I think they
awesome.
are. I think because I'm getting kind of bored with what's his face.
Daniel Craig.
Daniel Craig
He
is
signed
James.
on for one more. I think Daniel Craig.
Did he? I'm getting
think
kind of
so.
bored with him. His dry wit is just kind of like.
Yeah, they need to mix it up. They brought Daniel Craig in and shifted that up a little bit to answer to the Bourne series because they wanted somebody a little bit more physical.
Yeah, because they had Pierce Brosnan before that, which I did like. I just
Yeah,
thought
awesome.
I just thought it got too gimmicky with the devices.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I loved Pierce Brosnan. I thought if they had good scripts, better scripts, I thought he could have done a better job.
Yeah, I agree. He was in the '90s Bond, and it was like that's
But yeah, there's not. But it was
Thank
just
you for that video game, by the way.
yes,
Yeah.
old enough.
GoldenEye 007, dude. Was
Yeah.
amazing.
Just to finish up the
started it all, didn't it?
weekend.
Hey, dude, first person shooter.
It started it. Yeah,
That was just like a legit first person
Well, I
shooter.
think Doom was before.
Doom
GoldenEye.
was good, but I'm saying like interactive, like against others.
Oh yeah,
it
co-op.
was like it was badass.
It was couch co-op though, right?
Yeah, couch co-op.
Yeah.
But that put the fire in the belly.
Well, that's
Dude,
what I heard from
there's
everybody. I'm not a
nothing
gamer.
like smoking one of your buddies and being like, "Boom!"
And then the best is when you get them with like a shitty gun, and you're like, dude, I'm just awesome.
Dude, that happened to me one time, man. So in real life, like,
You got shot with a shitty gun?
no, I had a shitty gun. So hear me out. So years ago, I was doing paintball. Got invited
you told me. I knew this.
Yeah,
story,
so I got invited to do paintball, and it was with a bunch of cops from New Jersey. And we were in Philadelphia at this place called the Byberry Sanitarium or something like that. It was a sanatorium, whatever, a loony bin. And So instead of being in the woods, you were in this old dilapidated hospital.
That's pretty awesome.
It was badass, dude. Like you could look through the rotted holes, and it was not safe at all. But we were with cops, so it was like they could call it anyway. So, but like you could shoot somebody through a hole in the floor from the second floor.
Yeah.
And so I didn't have any gear. These guys had all been playing together. Tactically, they've been trained, and they got $1,500 rigs. I get a pump shotgun. It's just, and it's not like a shotgun like it's spraying anybody. It's still shooting one bullet or one rubber ball, paintball, but you have to pump each shot. These guys are going pop, 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 pop.
You're the third wheel.
I was like, and so the first time I got knocked out, I go running down this hallway. Paintballs are flying at me left and right. I go behind this door with one of those crazy slots, and I slide it back ever so slowly. Dude shoots me right through the crazy slot, and I'm like, I'm out. Hits me right in the goggles. So I'm like, all right, I got to be a little bit more stealthy. So I sit behind just debris and
AKA you're camping.
I'm totally camping, dude.
I was totally thinking that. That's hilarious.
I was totally camping.
Hey, but you didn't have the weapons to do it though.
I had to be strategic, man.
And these guys were cops, well trained. What are you going to do?
He's doing the ghetto camping, man.
That's right.
With a
I had to do Arnold Schwarzenegger and Predator, man. I just used my wits. And so these two guys they're walking down this stairwell. It's an open stairwell. The railings fell off, and I'm just camping. I pop up, pop. I shoot both of them. I'm like, I'm the king. I get taken out a second later.
I was about to say you probably got lit up.
Yeah.
And they probably didn't stop shooting. You're like, I'm in.
But anyway, that's my tale. Back to box office. Let's see where we are. Incredibles 2 is still in the top 5 with $16 million. Jurassic World. These are all ones that I was only surprised that Hotel Transylvania really took the top spot. But it's not that impressive. It's $44 million. Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom still in the top 5. The First Purge. Sorry to Bother You. Sorry to Bother You looks really good. Have you guys seen this?
What is
this
it?
Guy
Is the First Purge?
No, the first Purge. I'm not.
I thought that might have been the name. What is it? Sorry to Bother You about?
Sorry to Bother You is this kind of, from the way it's been described, it's been this kind of wacky, not wacky, but it's kind of like a social commentary. It's by Boots.
Guillermo del Toro.
Boots Riley, I think his name.
He's never going to live that one down.
It's about this guy Boots Riley. I think he's the writer and director, but he plays this character that goes into the telemarketing business. Well, he needs a job and he goes into telemarketing. And Danny Glover, I don't know that much about it, but the trailer I saw looked pretty funny. And Danny Glover plays this guy who's been doing it forever. And so he's not being successful right away, but then Danny Glover basically says, you got to put on your white guy voice. And they dub in these white guy voices that it's
hey, how can I help you today?
Well, hello, and this is John from Westchester. But obviously, it's a big time social commentary on some of the inequalities that African Americans feel. It just and honestly, I'm not that invested of any of the social messaging, to be perfectly honest. It just looks like a funny. It looks like a funny ass film.
I'm out here selling ketchup popsicles.
Exactly. So I'm glad to see that's hit the top 10. And where are we? And so what we got left? We got The First Purge, Sorry to Bother You, Sicario still in the top 10, Uncle Drew, and then Ocean's 8. God damn it, that movie's still making money.
They'll make another one. There's going to be an Ocean's 9.
It's over $100 million. Of course, it's going to be another one. $70 million budget. That thing's going to be reunited.
Back to the well again.
Indeed. So in the news, you guys heard about this Dune movie that's coming out in 2019?
Dune?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
I'm interested in that. You piqued my interest.
Yeah, they're doing the Dune movie. It's supposed to come out in 2019. It has to be way late in 2019 because they're still, I haven't looked on IMDb, and they're still casting. So the guy. It's the guy that did. What was it? He's doing well. It's basically they're casting the main character, the character that played Atreides, the main character in Dune.
Peter. No, I know who it is. Yeah, Paul
Atreides. That's right.
It's a great movie. It got bad reviews, but I love the first one.
Yeah, it's
like the TV show, TV movie one.
It was a movie,
but there was two of them. They did.
Oh, did they do them?
It was for TV. Yeah.
So they. I saw
William Shatner in it. Not William Shatner. Patrick Stewart. Yeah, he was in it.
The one that the movie had Sting in it.
Yes, same one.
Yeah, that was the movie.
I don't think it was in the movies. I think because there was a two-parter. Yeah, it's a fat check.
As we look across at each other, and I can hear the spaghetti western music whistling in the background.
I think it was on TV. I think it was a TV movie. I think there was a two-part. Yeah. But I'm not 100% sure.
And their cocks are out.
But it was
They're
great.
Crossing streams.
Have you ever seen Dune, Jamie?
No.
Definitely.
That was a game too, wasn't it?
They did a whole big push with Dune. It was like because the following. It's like one of the highest rated, highest revered sci-fi books around
of all time. I mean, it's like I forget when
More
it was.
so than Lord of the Rings, huh?
No, when was the book released? It was the book was released in the 60s, wasn't it?
I'm not sure exactly.
60s or early 70s, and it was like the way they described it. It was a couple thousand years in the future of Earth, but we're not located on Earth, and they discovered these planets, and one of them it's a desert planet, and it has a mineral on it called spice that can keep people alive indefinitely. Yeah. So it's so high in demand, and then there's a hierarchy that forms around this one particular. There's an emperor.
It's got like the altered carbon kind of.
Well, there's different houses that are different planets and different.
The altered carbon was all about the rich gets richer. This is all about political intrigue because there's an emperor. There's different houses that control different planets. And
control the spice. Yeah. Right. And but you can actually have, if you ingest the spice, you could actually get almost superhuman ability. No.
That's if you drink the water of life.
Is that what it was?
The water of life, and that's the water of life.
God, it's been
is
forever.
Pretty much because there's no water on that planet, and there's these giant things, worms, these big creatures, worms.
Yeah, sandworms. Yeah.
Sandworms, and if you grab one of the worms and put it in water, and whatever it spews out. Well, it's kind of like disgusting, but it's the upchuck of the worm because it's not used to something in the
water.
Does the spice come in a deodorant form, or?
And the word that no male can take that water in, only females can. Supposedly the Quizak Hatterack or whatever they say.
Damn, dude, you know a lot more about this than I do.
I love the movie, man. I used to watch it again. Another thing I used to watch with my mother when I was younger. Stop hating, Jamie. Stop hating.
I'm hating.
Yeah. Anyway, they're in talks with casting Timothée Chalamet. He's been in a bunch of stuff that nothing really outrageous. But long story short, they're starting casting talks with this. So, and it's going to be a two-parter. I believe that's going to be on TV.
So, what channel? Netflix, maybe, or
I hope it's an
Sci-Fi
HBO
or
something. So.
I hope it is too, because if it's not, they're just they keep trying to redo it constantly.
Speaking of HBO. They got knocked off by Netflix, dude.
With what?
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Except
Netflix.
for Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones got like 20-something nominations.
But Netflix overall, like, dethroned HBO.
I mean, they have so much content, man. It's like...
They flooded the market. They're like, hey, thanks for the idea.
Yes.
Oh, we can do an award. Yeah, that's right. There was a bunch of stuff came out about it. Game of Thrones had the highest. There was like 20-some nods. You're right. Netflix, almost every series got like nods. Ozark got a nod for a couple of things. If you ever watch Ozarks, it was really good. There was actually Stranger Things, obviously.
Oh, speaking of Stranger Things, they put out like a new. I saw they had clips for the new one coming out
already.
Yeah, they had like little tidbit clips.
Is it like
Yeah,
a time
like-
jump, or is it like? Is
Nah, they should. It looked like it was like some
Still
sort of
in the
80s
80s.
commercial.
Yeah, I saw
Right?
that too.
Yeah.
The
See, I love both seasons, but I mean, I don't want to.
I think they're milking it.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, I
and
know
I'm
what
getting
you're-
worried
I know what
that
you're saying.
I don't want it to like.
See, that's when that's a big thing that I do like, and I like a lot of shows that know when to hold them and when to fold them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
they don't milk the ever loving dog shit out of it.
Like Breaking Bad was perfect, man.
Perfect, exactly.
5 seasons.
You know what I
5
mean?
seasons was great.
like Seinfeld could have gone on for another couple seasons, and then except for the last episode.
Seinfeld
obviously.
was unique, though. You're going comedy. Seinfeld was
But,
one of the most unique
but you
comedies ever because they had a show about nothing. It
But-
was just all about observation. How many times do we go to a restaurant waiting in fucking line forever?
But like he
Yeah,
says though, he'll say he's like, I knew to stop high.
Yeah, that's true. It's true.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of integrity in that. And
Game of Thrones. That's why I'm hyped
yeah,
about this year.
exactly. But like, there's a lot of shows that don't have that kind of like integrity or
There's
yeah. They
Yeah,
jumped the
there's-
shark.
yeah, they jumped the shark. That's a John Hine. Hit him with the Hine. Yeah.
Well, what was the show a couple years ago that I used to watch? Heroes did that.
Yes. Heroes is
The
a
first 2
great
seasons
example.
were great. Third season was
But they lost
horrible.
their writers.
Yeah.
That's what happened in that one. That was during the writer's strike, right? Or like something.
Yeah, I forget. I think that was, but it got
God, that
got
show is
shitty.
good. And then you're
That
like,
first season blew my mind.
oh yeah, and you're like, what the fuck happened
Dude,
here?
think about that. We were so starving for some type of super powered, take it seriously drama
But that was good.
on television, right? We were so stoked to see
and
it
they
like
made
that.
it believable. Like it was.
And now it's everywhere.
Yeah, you're right. That you got.
And I'm happy about that.
Yeah, they even tried to have a reboot with it. It just didn't work.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Yeah,
Because they would have to spend money. They had to spend money to in order to make a super powered superhero type series. Awesome.
it's just not there yet. I don't think the funding is there just yet to make it. Like we
Well-
all say, these shows are like Game of Thrones, but Game of Thrones is not having people fly around, bust through walls, and
No,
too much. I mean, every once in a while you got scenes with dragons and stuff, which is awesome, but
the
they're not doing too much CGI.
the Heroes thing. The reason that reboot didn't work, because I did start watching it, is because they kicked the shit out of it so much the first couple seasons.
Yeah, it
that
could-
they tried to they put the paddles to the chest on that one. They're
Yeah.
like, oh, please come back, and
Yeah.
they made it so like ridiculous of bringing characters back that were so far gone that you're just like, dude, they're gone.
Yeah,
Let them go. You know what I mean? Like you're bringing them back from like the fourth dimension from,
Yeah.
it's like, all right, it's a little ridiculous.
yeah.
You keep it tight.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
There's a lot of shows, you're right, that just stay too long at the party, man.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly right.
So in more news, did you see the Deadpool 3 image floating around the interwebs?
No.
So they're basically, and I think Ryan Reynolds, I'm almost positive the end of the movie, he talked about Omega Red as far as the villain. So there's a picture floating around. I forget who the actor is playing him, but they got him in full makeup. And I'm wondering how they're going to do Omega Red because he's this Russian supervillain, right? He's more of an X-Men character. But then again, go ahead, Nick. You were going to say
No. I just remember when you said that it was a Russian. Yeah, I remember in the X-Men world, you know, they in the cartoon they had a whole episode or two about Omega Red, and he was going after Wolverine, wasn't he, or something like that?
Well, he goes
If I
after.
remember
He
correctly.
fought Colossus. He fought Wolverine. He fought a ton of people, but he was primarily an X-Men villain.
But it was all the Soviet Union and Russia and all that.
Yes. So, but you saw the actor in full makeup, which I thought was really cool because he's got some prosthetics on his face. And this is what I loved about Deadpool is that for a change, they're not making them, they're sticking to a lot of the costumes. You know, like Deadpool's costume is not practical. Like, what are the white lenses over his eyes?
Yeah.
How do you see through that?
Yeah, it's not practical at all, but
Yeah.
it's Deadpool, and you're
Yeah.
like, and you don't give a shit.
Yeah.
You know, we talked about suspension of disbelief, right? that's something where I'm like, okay, great. And so
I don't need to know the reason why how he can see through it. I don't care.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know, and so that's what tickled my fancy as far as like, oh, they're probably going to go legit. And they did it with Cable, Juggernaut. You know, it's like, wait a minute, he's in a facility and his powers derived from an amulet that he keeps under that helmet. Why, if you caught him, why wouldn't you take the helmet off and take the amulet out? You know, and then he just becomes plain old Kane Marco, and you're done. But we don't care because that's not entertaining.
Yeah.
And to see Juggernaut in full regalia, you're like, yeah,
Fuck that's badass.
And so I thought that was cool. So if you guys get a chance, check it out. It's I'm sure it's all over the internet now. The other thing I wanted to bring up is Joss Whedon, the writer and director and producer of things like the Avengers, right?
But he also did Justice League, so let's not get ahead of
he
ourselves.
stood in for Justice League, right? Because he had to do...
Which was better than Batman vs. Superman, let's be honest.
Agreed.
Yes.
Agreed.
Yes. And, but he did the first Avengers, and that movie rocked.
No, he did. He just... My thing is he hasn't done much lately. I would more refer to the Russo brothers as...
Oh, yeah.
As...
Yeah.
tickle my fancy little
There are darlings right now.
Yeah. Because they haven't, everything they've touched movie wise in Marvel has been a hit.
But we're man babies, and hopefully the Russos know that because we will turn on them if they put it. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, fuckers. I hate them. Ryan Johnson, motherfuckers.
Ryan Johnson. You had to bring him up, dude.
Hey, dude, it's going to be brought up. Just live with it.
Yeah.
Just check that box right now. But he's done Buffy. He's done Firefly. He's
Love Firefly, man. It
was awesome.
Love Firefly. The show and the movie were both good.
Agreed. I
think they're coming back with it, aren't they? I heard rumors.
Which Buffy did he do? The show or the movie?
The show.
Well, it's got a crazy ass following, dude.
I know.
They're talking about. I heard maybe bringing that back. I don't.
The
know.
movie wasn't actually that. Like, it was okay. I could sit through that, but that show was absolutely ridiculous.
You know what show I liked? I left the offshoot show Angel. I actually liked. I enjoyed that, man.
Yeah, because it had the dude that was on Bones, right?
Yeah.
And I love that brunette chick, man. His best friend.
I never watched it.
Why do you think I hung in for Buffy? It wasn't for the content. Let's be honest.
And you also had Elijah Douche on that for a while, dude.
Same reason we watched as kids. We watched Hercules and Xena. It wasn't for the plot points.
Yeah,
or the.
It's like pornos, though. You end up watching for the pretty girls, and you get sucked in for the plot point. Man.
Yeah.
The soft porns, anyway. Late night, fucking Skinemax. You're getting ready to yank it. You're like, come on, there'll be a better girl. There'll be a better girl. God damn it, I like this. I wonder what happens.
You want to know how the stepmom actually engages. You're like, this is interesting. How does the conversation start?
The pizza guy.
All starts with a pizza guy. So Joss Whedon, he's actually got he has a series that's coming out called The Nevers. It's supposed to be this sci-fi fiction. It's about these really strong Victorian women. And of course, they have these unusual abilities. So they have almost like called a mutant, called super, whatever you want to call it. But I'm interested. Joss Whedon, he's done some really good stuff. I think he's a talented guy. So look for that. I think next year. And it's another good series.
Is it on Net? Is it going to be on HBO? Well, HBO.
HBO. Here's another real quick though. HBO. So he was getting courted by HBO and Netflix.
That makes sense. He's
Netflix.
I didn't say he wasn't a good director.
But Netflix was the one that closed. I mean, I'm sorry. HBO was the one that closed.
You know, HBO's coming out with the Watchmen series.
Yes.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
They're coming back hard for what's going on with Netflix. And to your point about the nominations, the Emmy nominations, those nominations, as much as we think those shows are kind of ridiculous, they sway viewers.
Yeah, well, and also you gotta appreciate what Netflix has done. I mean, their price evaluation just dropped like a couple months ago, and
dude, they're running the gambit, dude. Yeah. They are running the gambit.
Why do you think all the bigwigs are trying to get in on it now? Disney's trying to have their own.
Yep.
Obviously, Amazon Prime, which I do dig. I go on Amazon Prime a couple times. There are some good shit.
But HBO was like the originator of that type of, like, as far as coming out with like those type of shows.
Yeah, I know you got The Sopranos, The Wire,
The Wire, and all that stuff. Like
they didn't do binge though. They didn't do full seasons.
They didn't do binge, but they started like that kind of show.
Oh,
like that,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when those shows came out, we're like, holy shit.
Yeah.
It's like, this
well,
is
the
better than the
networks,
movie.
yeah, and they managed to catch the networks with their
Oh,
pants
yeah.
down.
They definitely did.
No,
for
they
sure.
did. And Stars started trying to pull up. Stars had a couple good ones. Did you ever see
Showtime.
Spartacus, man?
Yep.
I didn't watch
Dude,
the whole thing.
Dude, that first season, I think I had a boner the whole fucking time, dude. That was like a crazy season.
Showtime
Well,
did
you
it.
were the one that recommended Rome too, and that's the one I got to revisit.
Did you watch it?
I watched the first couple episodes of the first season.
If you're a historian kind of type dude, even if you're not, it's a really good show because Rome takes place. You're not dealing with Caesar and all them. You are, but you're actually dealing with two fictional characters that intertwine with Caesars and Mark Antony's. They're not the main plot points. It's these other two characters.
that are further down on the food chain.
One of the guys is in Thor. One of Thor's best friends. He dies. Helena kills him right when he's pulling up the sword.
Gotcha.
I forget his name. He's been in a bunch. He's been in Divergent. He's been in a bunch of shows. That guy.
I gotcha.
I don't know his name exactly because he's he's
Fact
not
check.
a bad actor.
He's not a lead.
Not a lead. No.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So the Bumblebee movie, they announced or did screens of
Oh, yeah, I
two
saw
new
that.
Decepticons.
Two new Decepticons.
They haven't called out
It
Starscream.
looks like Starscream.
Looks like Starscream.
There wasn't-
smells like a duck, walks like a duck.
There was another. There were in a cartoon. There was Starscream, and who was the other one that looked like Starscream?
But it was blue, right?
It was blue, kind of purple.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Can't
forget
remember.
his.
Fact check.
That's a fact check, yeah.
But two new Decepticon villains, and here's the thing that's weirded me out a little bit about this is that they're called Static. No, I'm sorry, Shatter and Dropkick. Never heard of these villains before.
No, neither have I.
in the canon.
Now, is this a reboot?
Well, it's like a prequel,
No,
pretty much. It's like 80s, right?
Yeah, 87.
But that's what I mean. Because is it a prequel where they're just saying the other movies counted, or are they just trying to like rephase this?
I think they're just trying to do an independent Bumblebee movie, and
seeing how
if
it
it
goes.
gets traction, then
Yeah.
they'll try and do what they did with. I wouldn't be surprised if they're trying to do what Marvel did.
They're deep.
'Cause it looks
They're dipping their
interesting.
feet into the well.
Yeah,
And if they get wet, then they're like, ooh, let's pull them out.
Because
Let's do them.
I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie, I like the original look of the Bumblebee, and I like doing it in the '80s.
totally.
Because that's where I grew up, and that's
Who
when
doesn't
when
like
sh-
the 80s?
Yeah, right. And that's the other thing.
Fantastic.
But that's when the show came out. So if you can grab something and put it together in the old fashion of the show and kind of reboot it, I'm all for it because I told you this guys before. It was my favorite cartoon growing up.
Yeah, this is what I predict. This is what I think the strategy is. I think they're trying to do one-offs and trying to do a little bit of Marvel action. You fall in love with a character, and then another character may have another movie, and then they'll have a culmination of a handful of Autobots and a handful of Decepticons in a third in a trilogy.
And that makes a lot more sense. And you
So-
don't release the Optimus Prime footage until later.
So he's
'Cause-
already cast as a voice actor, the guy who plays Optimus Prime.
Okay, maybe at the end, maybe like after credit scene or something
That's
like
what
that.
that's what I think is going to happen. Too.
See, that would be that would pique my interest a little bit if it's
Yeah.
done right. Because the whole thing with me is he screwed up everything in the beginning because the cartoon starts out where they were like almost in a hibernation for hundreds of years.
Yeah.
You know,
'Cause they
if not
went off
thousands.
Of course.
Yeah, and the ship was embedded in rock, and you know it was. I didn't like where he was. Well,
Yeah, he fucked it up, is what he
yeah,
did.
Michael Bay sucks.
So, but here's the thing that I'm not.
The original Ryan Johnson. OG shit.
That's where Ryan Johnson got it from. He's like,
Everybody
oh,
needs
look
a-
at that.
That's right.
Everybody needs a
Oh,
mentor.
look at this. Everybody likes this. Let's fucking grenade it.
So, yeah, the only thing I don't like, and Jamie, you're more of a car guy than Nick and I are put together, but the Decepticons are calling out. One's a red Plymouth satellite, And then the other one is
Well, what like early late 60s, early 70s satellite, or like some new fucking
whatever looks good in the 80s.
No, that's a piece of shit. All right.
And then the other one is an AMC Javelin.
Yeah, that's cool.
Is it?
Yeah,
It's a
fuck
muscle
yeah.
car, right?
That's cool. I
but
think
then-
that. But see, 87, right?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, they could have done like a Grand National or a T-Type. Like, I'm talking like 80s cars.
Oh,
cool
Grand
80
National would have been
cool
badass.
80s cars. Like that's why you need to like have somebody that likes the show.
We shouldn't even talk about what they should be doing. They should be just doing what was in the cartoons. Done.
Yeah,
Yeah,
or that.
exactly.
Yes, you
Fine.
got a point.
I mean, that's what I don't understand about a lot of these big Hollywood guys. Why do they got to change things? People liked it for a reason.
Yeah.
We're adults now. We want to see what we liked.
I had a feeling this was going
You're right,
to get us
you're right.
fired up.
It drives me crazy how they just constantly They want to like pick from the 80s. They want to
Ghostbusters. Perfect
Right.
example, dude. You
Yeah.
totally dropped the Steam Impala shit there.
because they wanted to catch the women's movement, which I am fine with. But you cannot fuck with something that was already good and change the whole format.
Yeah, they made the proton packs fucking corny as shit.
I didn't
Dude,
see
those
it,
things
dude.
were a disaster.
The fists?
Dude, they were ridiculous. Like the proton packs from the movie in the 80s were better.
Dude.
They were badass. I had
I
one
know.
of them,
They
man.
were-
Did you really?
Oh hell yeah, dude! I was fucking. It was one of my favorite movies, the first one.
Yeah.
growing up, I had a proton.
Dude,
Yeah,
how cool was
you
it?
pull that shit up.
When they're in the elevator, it's like, all right, power me up.
Yeah, then he steps
Goes
away.
up
And they're all
everybody's-
like, where are they really going to go? If you're a true scientist, that shit's going to blow up. You're toast.
He's like, look at, he's like, yeah, come on.
What did he say we have strapped to our back? I don't know how he said it. It was so.
Positron glider.
Positron, like something to accelerate.
I mean, that whole movie was. I know it was supposed to be a spoof, but it was really well done. The only thing that was always cheesy to me was the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. That was the only thing cheesy. Everything else was cool.
I like Stay Puft.
I didn't like the Stay Puft.
I thought it was great because I liked the look on Dan Aykroyd's face when he was like, it just popped in there.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
You know, and I thought,
What did you do?
Ray, what
did you do, Ray? Yeah, I love that movie.
It's fantastic. Now
Aim for the flat top.
You said not to cross the streams.
The streams was bad.
Bad.
I remember the toy air trap, the trap too. It was
Yeah,
like, it was
came-
like you hit it and it was like a vacuum.
Yeah.
You could, like,
Oh, really?
Yeah. It was
I didn't have that.
I had
said
the
it.
trap was pretty sick.
These little wire things for the
parents-
guns, the little things that would spin around. It was like a wire. Like, yeah, I had that.
I had a
Your
lot.
parents loved you more.
I had a lot of toys, or just kept me busy with toys.
Oh, yeah. You seem like a high energy child.
Yeah.
Well, he had a lot of time on his hand back then.
Yeah.
Not so much.
I was Nick as a kid. A lot of time.
All right, last but not least, and then we'll get into the topic. We're going to talk San Diego Comic-Con and some of the things that we're interested in, some of the things that we would love to see if we had tickets. But last but not least,
Someday, John. When
Yeah.
our show really takes
dude, I've
off,
tried.
we're there.
I was out there for 2 years, man. Every year I was out there.
We're
I
going to get
tried, but
invited
no.
someday. Our show's going to take
That's
off,
right.
and we're going to be like invited.
That's right.
We're going to have our own little station. People can come up to see us.
Big giant marquee.
They're going to pay for autographs, motherfuckers.
That's right. We're going to have the after party out, after hours party.
We'll interview Zachary Quinto and stuff.
I love the people. You're like, we'll interview Zachary Quinto.
Dude's awesome. He's good Spock, dude.
Who would you? I mean, all right.
That's not the first person that would come to
Well,
my mind.
I'm just coming up. Well, what do you want me to go? You want me to go to my legit shit?
go big, man.
Oh, all right.
Go big or go home, man. We're at
Michael
the
J. Fox, dude.
He's not at a Comic Con,
Dude.
We got.
He's awesome.
we
Christopher
have one
Lloyd?
we have one open mic. You know, he's actually Christopher Lloyd is would do another Back to the Future if you asked. If you,
Yeah, he was talking about that. And then
Why
there's, like,
wouldn't he? He's not doing
there's some-
anything
I
right now.
saw,
He doesn't have to.
There's some cartoon that spawned from Back to the Future, and he said he was going to be the voice in it now.
Well, they did a pretty. I think Telltale did a pretty good
hell is that called?
Back
It's
to the
like-
Future video game.
Well, it's like Cork and something.
There was a cartoon years ago for
No,
Back to the
there's
Future.
some. No, I saw.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
saw it on some blurb thing on the internet. Actually, today or yesterday, and it was some cartoon spawned from the whole Back to the Future thing, and it's like some off thing. And he said he would play like a voice in it just because it's fun. You know?
Yeah, why not?
Dude's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, I love him, man. All the movies he used to make, dude. You ever see Clue?
Yes.
Yeah.
Clue's, he's great, and they're all great in Clue.
Dude,
Clue's a
but
classic.
if we're talking, Christopher Lloyd, my favorite. This is when he was in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
I never
Yes.
seen the movie. I
He
never
was
saw it.
Taxi.
Taxi.
saw that
yes.
either.
Reverend Jim in Taxi. Back to the Future. Yeah, and that's my top 3. That where
He's in a couple other ones too.
him in Taxi. Holy shit, so funny because he's a drugged out stoner dude, right?
That show is fucking awesome.
That show is brilliant. And
It
Taxi,
is brilliant.
Oh, you're talking about the show. I thought you were talking, okay, yeah.
not Taxi Driver.
Okay, yeah. I was
Taxi.
like,
That show was brilliant.
Yeah,
I never watched it. I watched a couple episodes here and there, but I was always more of a MASH guy back in the day.
Yeah. Oh, Mel MASH was awesome.
That would be something that they could do, but I'm afraid that they would totally fuck that up. But that's something that they could do, like on like a Netflix or an HBO.
What, Taxi?
Yeah, but like now you could like kind of like rated R it. You know what I mean? Because that was pretty.
Wouldn't it be more like Uber now?
It's very like or that. But
They would have to be. It would have to be in the 70s.
But that would be even better. Well, you could do like a new one, like an Uber, because how weird's like Uber? That's like a fucking
Oh,
crazy.
yeah.
That's like a.
But there's not a station everybody reports.
You know, like crazy
to.
stories
Yeah.
that would come out of like an Uber driver.
Dude, they're
Totally.
crazy, man. I found out, not to get too off topic, I didn't know they didn't
we
know
did.
the destination until they picked you up.
Yeah.
shit.
I always thought they had it and they could pass it if they didn't want. No, I was talking to some guy. He's like, dude, hey, I was at one of my stores, and he's like an Uber driver. And I'm talking to him, and he's like, oh, I got to pick up. I could pick somebody up like 2 miles from here. I'll pick him up. And I saw him like 2 weeks later. He's like, dude, you realize I had to go all the way to the fucking airport and traffic and rush hour traffic for that? Took
Yeah.
me 2 hours.
Because people poach, they want to, if they want to just clean up and just in their local area.
Yeah.
And that's, and I love it's to deter people from just poaching premium like runs.
Yeah, I mean, I would never do it.
Like my father-in-law does it. He loves it.
Does Lyft do it too?
Yeah.
They both do it.
So, did you guys know there was a Frozen 2 coming out?
Yes, I did.
Yes, I saw it. That's been
Boo.
in
I was
the
going to
works.
tag Jamie on it, but
Dude, that's been in the works for a while.
Welcome to a new song, Jamie.
no.
Well,
Supposedly it's not like previous Disney years where they had these like cheesy second movies.
Yeah, it's supposed to be well thought
It's
out.
spelled yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
well thought out, and they're investing a lot of money.
And it's going to go to the movies instead of directly.
right, not like Lion King on a 1.5 or whatever that was.
It made all the money, right?
Yeah.
So of course they're going to make a Frozen 2, but I wish they would just wouldn't. But
Yeah, it's just
You're gonna get another
In my
song,
opinion,
dude.
listen, I watched pretty much all the Disney movies, and that was like probably my least favorite one. I thought it was fucking terrible.
I know.
Like Moana was great, like Tangled was great, Little Mermaid, all that stuff. Frozen just sucked. The
I
story
wish-
sucked.
Well, you are in the extreme minority, my
I
friend.
guess, dude. That story fucking
Well, that's all
blew.
girls. Every girl liked it.
I like
But
the girl movies, though. I'm not going to
Yeah, I
lie.
I'll tell you this much though. I saw a clip of, because they're going to do a live action Lion King. They had the animatronics Simba, not Simba, Mufasa. Dude, I thought it was a real fucking lion, dude. I was like, what? Because the guy's like hanging on. I'm like, what is he doing next to a huge lion? And then they're like, nah, then you read the article and it's like, nah, it's all animatronics.
Yeah,
it's
dude,
like,
that's
I was like,
crazy.
It really looks cool. I'm really interested in how, because, I mean, everybody loves Lion King.
Yeah.
Top 5 Disney movie
Good
for
one.
me.
brilliant.
I'm really interested to see how they do that. I mean, the Dumbo thing's one thing because that's like so old. I mean,
Dumbo's fucking sad, dude.
it's sad. It's a sad movie, and it looks cool, but I won't see it. But I will see the live action Lion King because I grew up loving the Lion King.
Yeah, yeah. It's. I mean, they did the Mowgli one. You saw the trailer for Mowgli,
Yeah.
right? And that looks like they actually looks a little better than the one that John Favreau did with.
I thought that was good, though.
It was really good, but this one looks a little bit darker, a little bit more gritty.
And they're gonna have the Aladdin live action.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know about that one either.
You're just because Robin Williams is not available to do it. If he was available,
Yeah, but they could have selected somebody else.
I think they're doing Will Smith.
They are, and that just seems a little ridiculous.
well, we'll see, man. They
He's gonna
haven't.
go straight into Fresh Prince mode.
The
Maybe.
motherfucker sung at the FIFA, the World Cup, dude.
He did.
Yeah.
Did he really?
I don't have anything against Will Smith. I
thought that was kind of odd. That was just an odd.
He's
choice.
a brilliant actor, and I don't like when he goes into his default.
No, I don't sip the
Fresh
haterade
Prince
to him.
mode.
The dude's good. I
Yeah.
think the
Remember
dude's good,
when-
but I just don't like him in Aladdin.
Remember when
No,
there
you
was a
don't think it's a
time
good
like
fit?
he could
Nah,
do no wrong? Like he was, I think he came
Wild
out with
Wild
Men in
West.
No, well, I was talking right before that when he released the Men in Black. He released all the
saw that.
songs, and he was
Yeah.
just hit after hit. He
Yeah.
did Ali, which was critically acclaimed.
Summertime.
I mean, I even like I Am Legend.
Yeah,
I
dude.
love
Dude,
that.
that movie was awesome.
It's a great movie.
The movie was
Yeah.
really good.
Hey, listen, we are not that. We don't need to defend the fact that we dig some Will Smith for sure.
I love Will Smith.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
awesome.
I mean,
His son's a little weird, though.
Well, I think
It's each his own.
I think it's.
Nah, his son is way weird, man.
Yeah,
is he a
whatever.
girl? Is he a boy? What the hell does he want?
I think he's just challenging. Like he's like, I can do what I want. You know, I listened to this interview with Childish Gambino, Danny Glover, and he'll hang out with Jaden Smith from time to time. And he said, yeah, like he'll come over and like a pair of leg warmers and whatever. And it's like Danny Glover or Donald Glover talks about, he said, white freedom. He says white freedom is just to be able to do kind of what you want as far as being able to express yourself without being seen as black first. Right. And he says that in talking to Jaden Smith, he expresses some of that. And, you know, of course, he comes from this ridiculous privilege, right? That anyone at the table would not, if they gave you the key to that golden closet or whatever.
But
you'd
that's
walk
just a
right
different
through.
reality then.
It's totally a different reality, and
I mean,
he doesn't have
this
to
kid-
worry about
the-
anybody's opinion about shit
Because he's set for life, dude.
Yeah.
His parents make buku. His dad makes buku bucks. Always will. Because first of all, you got reruns of Fresh Prince, where I'm sure he gets
Yeah.
a check of $1 million a year,
But
probably from.
my point is that he doesn't have to give a shit about anybody's opinion, and I
but
kind of respect that.
I actually
love that,
I really
but-
admire that for the fact that like a lot of people, I think a lot of people are too into what other people think.
Sure.
And the fact that like, I think it's probably just like a big fuck you. It's like,
Yeah.
hey dude.
He's also a teenager,
He's
so-
like, well, my thing is I take it as like when he comes out in like a dress and shit and like people like talk about it, he's just like, dude, like fuck you. He's like,
Yeah.
I'm doing it like,
how
you're
do you-
talking about it. You know what I mean? Like,
how
fuck
do
you.
you-
You're
how
like,
do you talking about
who's
it?
the idiot? You're the one talking about
But how
it.
do you know it's just not like he wants people to notice him?
Oh, there could be that too.
You
There
know,
could be that too, but
it's like he does care. He cares so much he just wants to be noticed. This could
And maybe
be the total flip of that.
And I'm just going by with the interview with Donald Glover. What he
I mean, I just think people with money, and when you get up that high and they grow up with money, it's just a different reality for people like us.
totally.
I mean,
I'm just jealous of the freedom of just doing whatever the fuck you
fuck
want.
you,
Yeah.
money, man.
Well, it's just like literally like what he was doing. Like, you know what? I don't give a fuck. I'm just gonna walk outside my underwear. Fuck
Yeah.
it. You know what I mean? Take a picture.
Dude, 'cause when was the last time you looked at like a shirt or something like that, or a pair of pants or whatever that you might come across, and you're just purely like, I love that pattern and that color combination.
Good example.
It's so goddamn awesome. But then you go, damn, but I can't wear
I
that
have a
shit.
perfect. Listen,
I hear you, dude.
I have
Or you'll buy it and you'll take it home. And you're like, why did I
Perfect
pick this
example.
I look like an idiot.
I have a perfect.
You may love it too.
And you do, but you never wear it. You never. It stays in the closet. But
have-
damn, you wanted to buy it.
I have a perfect example
Go
of
ahead,
that.
JB.
So I go to the store and I see a picture of like one of my favorite albums, dude. Fucking Dr. Dre, The Chronic, dude.
Nice.
And I was like, I bought it.
Yeah.
Come home. And I'm like, dude, I'm fucking 30-some years old. I can't walk out in the fucking street with that. You know what I mean? You think about it. And then I was just like, I wear it around the house and I enjoy it. But I'm like, man, I'd love to not give a fuck and just walk right out that fucking door and go to the goddamn store and not have anybody. You know what I mean? But I do care.
Yeah, of course.
And that's what I'm saying is I admire the fact that that kid just doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah. And you don't have
That's-
FU money. dude.
yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, and that's the other
Fact.
thing.
Yeah.
You don't have FU money, and the kid's probably
I like the Chronic.
the kid probably gets, especially in Hollywood. I don't know if you ever been you've been to California, LA,
Yeah, I've
right?
been to LA.
People just don't. they really just walk around expressing themselves. So I went out there with my buddy to see my buddy Joe, and then there was this guy riding around in his fucking dolled up Jesus van. I saw him twice.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and nobody thinks that's weird. They're like, no big deal.
was
You
Joe?
saw that around here? What?
Where was he?
He was one of the beaches by I forget what.
Like the Venice Beach? Was it Venice?
It was It was not that Venice, but it was close by Venice. I forget what it
Gotcha.
was called.
Because there's all different kind of weirdness.
Yeah, and it's just like we drove around twice. We went to a bar, and then like the next day we went somewhere else. And I'm like, I saw the damn van again, and it's just sitting there. It was like the weirdest thing, and I'm like, nobody gives a fuck out there, and you just see people dressing however they want to dress, and you're just like, that's just odd to me on the East Coast. That's what I'm trying to say. It's probably like an LA, California
I
thing
got
too. They just kind of like whatever.
Yeah, I mean, but hey, I'd love to try on that dress.
Fuck yeah, dude. That's what I'm saying. Like, I like that.
You try on Cindy's clothes. Like,
That's why Facebook is so popular, is because everybody's so interested in what everybody else is doing.
Yeah, and I
You
think,
know what I mean?
oh yeah,
you know,
that's how it took off. I mean,
Yeah, exactly. And
It
I'd
should-
love to just be like, you know, I mean, fuck it, dude. I'm wearing that fucking shirt. Fuck you.
I'm gonna wear that Borat bathing suit, bitches.
Yeah.
like I look at Noah. Noah have on, and he does care a little bit, but not enough to change what he's doing, which is he'll have on a pair of red socks, and then a pair like green shorts, and then a pink and blue tie-dye swirled t-shirt, and then like I don't know, maybe a yellow hat or something like that. And I'll look at him, and it's like all the colors of a rainbow just flashing by me. And I'm like, what you got there, Dad? He goes, what? I'm like, yeah, nothing. You're good.
You know,
he doesn't even think about
some
it.
kids are so you got to think in high school and middle school, if they own it and they just don't care.
Yeah.
I mean, they pull it off, man. I
Dude,
used to know
he's
kids in
such
my middle school. I'm just like looking at them like that doesn't make any sense to me, but they didn't give a shit.
He operates on both ends of the spectrum. In one end, he'll care, but then another end, if someone gives him any grief, he'll like block them.
Yeah.
Like you know, because he's got his own cell phone and everything like that, and so like that's pretty. I don't know if he realizes what a harsh statement that is.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Like
pretty awesome.
someone texts you and he's like, I don't need this noise. Block.
Yeah, I just started learning that now.
Yeah.
In my 30s. You know what I mean? It takes a long time for somebody to realize, and he picked it up already at his age.
He's like, I don't need that aggravation in my life.
Dude, just turn it off,
He
man.
literally said that. I don't need that noise in my life.
Smart kid.
And I was like,
smart
"All
kid.
right, there you go. You'll be all right. But anyway, as we digress, as we do, everything that's going on in San Diego Comic-Con, again, we are not attending. We will keep a close eye out on what's breaking, because I'm sure there's going to be lots of cell phones. There's going to be lots of reports. And hopefully there'll be lots of trailers of some of the good stuff that we really,
I
really
am
are interested
excited
in.
about the trailers. I did research. I know they're not there. I was trying to figure out when they're going to drop the Captain Marvel trailer. Has to be soon, right? Because it comes out in March.
Yeah, it's got to be pretty soon. I mean, they closed filming, right? They're done filming. They're in edit mode. So I'm sure they're going to whip. Who knows?
Because Black Panther's first trailer got dropped in June last year.
In June, but and that dropped in February, right?
It's in March, same time.
Oh, March. Okay.
I think they're just holding it back because of the Ant-Man.
Yeah, they probably don't want to draft anything away from Ant-Man, but that's not really taking away movie sales.
But I think maybe in like a month, a couple weeks, they'll have to drop it, right?
Yeah, and Comic-Con would have been the place to do it,
Except they're not showing up.
except they're not there. So maybe D23?
When is that?
D23, that's the Marvel. That's the
Yeah, no, I know. When is it, though?
that's a good question. D23 Expo 2018 is
It's usually late August, right?
yeah. I'm not sure when it is, honestly, but it's probably, if they're going to do it, they're probably going to do it then. D23 Expo dates are here, and that D23 Expo would be August 23rd, 25th. So they'll probably do through the 25th. So they'll probably do it then. You're right, at late August.
I hope it's earlier, though. I'm really interested to see this.
Yeah, me too. Especially
piqued
she's a
my-
badass, you know.
Supposedly she's the badass.
Yeah. So, but back to San Diego Comic-Con, we talked about Bumblebee. Nobody's looking forward to Predator. They're supposed to be doing some press and some trailers. Glass. I'm curious about Glass.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I am too. The Split was really good.
I enjoyed Split a lot.
So Bruce Willis is going to be in Glass?
Yeah. Did you see the poster?
No, I didn't see
So I think it was Alex Ross, who's an awesome comic book artist. He did another rendition, and it shows, or they might have did a photo too, but it showed the three characters, and they all looked like they were in a loony bin. But it had Mr. Glass, it had the dude from Split, and then it had Bruce Willis. And the cool part about Bruce Willis is that they're all in the crazy garb, like, almost like prison uniforms.
I did see this.
And Bruce Willis is the only one handcuffed to the floor because he's strong.
Right.
So I'm like,
that Split dude could be strong too, depending on the personality.
I'm trying to remember what it looked like. He might have been shackled too. I'm not sure.
God, he's a good actor. What's his face?
James McAvoy.
Oh, he's so good.
So I'm curious to see how that plays out. They're no doubt. They're probably going to do a Venom, Shazam, Wonder Woman 1984.
I do want to see that.
Wonder Woman, I'm down for.
Yeah, so that does look good.
Aquaman.
Did you see the footage that she was doing? So people thought she was cruising around in an invisible jet.
Yeah,
If that's a invisible jet, I'm going to be like,
no, they got. They don't need to go there.
No,
I don't think they do.
not at all.
She did something pretty cool, though, over the...
Oh, for the kids?
For the kids,
that was
she
pretty
dressed
cool.
up.
Really,
that was really
cool.
That's
like...
awesome.
Actually, she didn't even... She I think she went right from the set to do that. I don't think she...
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
That is
Yeah.
awesome. Well, Tom Holland did that too as Spider-Man.
They all
Yeah.
do that. I remember when
Yeah.
Chris
Captain America,
the
yeah.
Chris's did it.
Yeah, it's just cool. I mean,
Yeah.
why not? Make a kid happy.
I'm
Especially-
interested in Aquaman because he said it's like a Star Wars in water.
Underwater. Star Wars underwater, like Star Wars, the original trilogy.
Yeah,
Not.
we want to
most
clarify
recent.
that.
Not
So-
the Fast and Furious. The other two.
Yeah. Well, that's Star Trek.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right.
Dude, don't get
Man,
them mixed
shit. I just did the Guillermo del Toro thing.
Yeah, you did.
I can't bust balls.
Yeah. But Aquaman, there's a lot of stuff coming out.
That looks good.
I'm like, holy shit! I hope this is going to be something else because
Because I like the character. I do.
When's that come out?
that comes out. That's a good question.
December, I think.
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, but Aquaman, they have somebody. I saw clips of the Black Manta.
He's the guy he's going to go against.
Yeah, that's his villain. But then they did shots. There's been a ton of like little snippets from cutscenes, and it looks good. Looks like it's going to be entertaining.
Hopefully, I mean, they cast it right. He's
Yeah.
definitely an intriguing character to be cast. I like him. What about Fantastic Beasts? I know you guys aren't as big into Harry Potter as me, but
Oh, I've watched shit out of that.
oh, did you?
Fuck yeah, dude.
That's
I'm
good.
really getting interested in the whole Dumbledore backstory.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
Fantastic Beasts was good too. I mean, it was decent.
wasn't bad, but
it was no Harry Potter,
no, but
but it was still good.
this one leads into the
Yeah, the
more
Dumbledore,
Dumbledore interaction, what's going on there. That's what kind of like the first one was
They have
kind of
a
like
killer
childlike
Yeah.
in for so much of it, but then this one is going to be I feel it's going to be more like have more meat to the bone.
Yeah.
And you're going to obviously have Dumbledore in it when he's like really young.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be intriguing to see that whole aspect and how he interacts with Grindelwald.
Yeah.
Because supposedly in the storyline, he's the one that defeats Grindelwald at the end, which probably won't happen until the third movie.
Yeah. If they're doing
Because he's the
trilogy.
one that takes the wand from Grindelwald. The whatever.
is that
the
how it
Deathly
plays
Hallows.
out?
Yeah, he steals it from him. Not steals it, but he beats him in a duel, and
Beats
then
him
he
in
takes
combat.
he takes him because if you the Deathly Hallows at the end of the day,
If you beat the wand holder, then you're the keeper of the wand.
Voldemort actually goes to visit Grindelwald in his some tower wherever they got him healed. He's like a really old man, and he asks him, "Where's the wand at?" Because he found out he was the last one to have the wand, and he goes, "You know who had the wand? He's dead. He just died." So that's when he goes after him.
No shit.
He opens up his grave and goes and gets the wand from.
Yeah, man, it looks. I'm in for sure. So it's definitely something. I mean, Johnny Depp, Jude Law. I mean, it's a hell of a cast. So it's not. It doesn't suffer from some of the things that I know you kind of like turn a blind eye to in the original Harry Potters, which was these were new actors. They were kids. And they grew into the roles for sure, but in the first couple,
they were tough.
They were a little rough,
especially the first two. It was like you watch it now, and it's like,
it's a little rough. Now you got seasoned actors in this subject matter.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to be the part that you're talking about, Nick, where it kind of puts it over the top.
Yeah, and you just want to see how it falls into the storyline. And the great part about all this is you got one writer through it all.
Yes.
It's not like you have a different storyteller.
Yeah, I wish they would do that more.
Yeah.
Well, she owns everything. She owns everything.
No, I'm with you. I'm just like, I wish more stories would do that. Like, because I can name like a bunch of shit that they've done. They've switched it up.
Switch writers, and it's just kind of like,
and then
one guy wants
the bed.
He wants to put his own twist on it.
Like I just fucked up a little bit ago, but like Star Trek, like we always bring that up. Like, you're going good, and then Fast and Furious.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
You know what? That's funny. That's interesting. I didn't see anything Star Trek news. Like, are they coming out with another Star Trek?
They're coming out with a new one, and then they're bringing back.
But it's not for 2 years.
Yeah, Chris Hemsworth.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
They are coming out with Discovery season 2.
On that.
I do want to get it. I just don't feel like
on that CBS app.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know how they ended it, remember?
What? Yeah, you told me the Enterprise showed up.
Yeah.
Yeah, which was really what sucked you in.
Yeah, that's when I was like, God damn it. I was like totally out. And then they did that finale.
Hooked
which
your
is like,
ass.
But now
yeah, I like got totally played and I'm buying into it.
I really have to have time to sit down. How many episodes is it?
I think it's 12 or 13. I'm not sure.
Because there's a 1 free week trial for CBS. And
Yeah, you got to crank that bitch out, man.
No, I was kind of waiting until season.
He's got the time, right,
Well,
Jamie?
no, we're not here, right?
Yes, he does.
I'm not going to.
Sorry,
soon.
yeah.
that's a low blow.
But I was kind of waiting for season 2 to drop so I can just like, bam.
Yeah.
I don't want, because I don't have to pay for season 2.
Yeah, that's what that's smart.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really smart.
Yeah.
I bit the bullet for you sons of bitches.
Well, somebody has to.
That's true. And then there you got, so some of the things I'm looking forward to as far as hopefully they have trailers and all kinds of good, tasty little tidbits. We mentioned Wonder Woman, The Expanse. I just finished. It was good.
It was
It
good.
was really good.
It had that opened it up, and it was like you kind of wonder where the proto molecule was taking them.
Yes.
And then you find out it's like kind of like opens up to thousands of different worlds.
Yes, and I love the reference when they go and say things like, I talk about, and I don't want to get too into religion or anything like that, philosophy, but when people talk about, there's no intelligent life out there, I'm like, well, maybe there is, and we're just not worth it.
Yeah.
Maybe they're so smart that it's like, and they say a line in there, I'm going to botch it, but they say a line, it's mostly like, well, would you be worried about the anthill that gets crushed on the planet Earth?
Oh, yeah, because they were talking about the proto-molecule forming, and it's like the one scientist was like, because he's all like trying to figure out what the proto-molecule's doing. Everybody what you're talking about. He's like, well, these are beings well above we're like ants to them. Well, I know what you meant. His reference.
Well,
is
the one
thing.
guy, the guy who plays Miller, who's like, and he's like, he's really the proto molecule, the consciousness of it. And he's like, I need to be able to put myself in a form that you'll be able to digest.
Yeah.
And he's like going, he goes, he points to the main character. He's like, you're a monkey. I'm Mozart.
Yes, that was awesome. But you know what's cool?
It's I'm sorry, real quick, but because it just, I love things that squash arrogance.
Yes,
and we were like, we're the center of the universe. They just call it out beautifully.
Right.
I dug it.
And then they left it open because all these worlds. But then they had that little nugget in there where Miller's saying it used to be the station or whatever used to be home of billions.
Yes.
And then somebody came along and
wiped it out.
Yeah. So, and then when he was finally going back through the portal, I guess you would call that, he like something happened, but then they cut it off. So,
Yes.
So I mean, I don't know if it got picked. It supposedly got picked up by Amazon.
It did.
It did. So I'm excited. There, like I said, Tickner said there was 8 books. So
there's a lot of material there.
there's a lot of material, and I dug all 3 seasons. I mean, now when you go back after you watch the 3rd season, you look even at the times when it was kind of lagging, you kind of understand it now why it needed to get there.
I could totally see that. Where you might have had a lot of questions that might take you out of it. Might take you out of it. It buttoned up really nice. So I'm glad I came back to it. The only other thing that I'm really interested in that's going to be they're speculating it's going to be at the San Diego Comic-Con is remember I mentioned the Russo brothers doing Deadly Class? It's a television show. I think it's on Sci-Fi. It's about it's almost like an Assassin's Academy.
Yeah, they put that on the Superman show. They did like a trailer.
Yes,
kinda.
Exactly. They were advertising around Krypton. So that's I mean, and there's some things that I'm like think are interesting, but not exactly dying to see. I think that the Lego movie is going to be cool. And then they're talking about doing maybe Godzilla King of Monsters. They're just fun romps, It's like the King Kong movie. I saw it. It was fun. I was just curious to see how they're going to have Kong and Godzilla do their thing on the big screen. Other than that, I'm really, I'll be listening, have my ear to the rail, and checking out everything that's coming out of Comic-Con. One day, Nick, we'll get there.
All of us.
How about you, Jamie? You going?
We'll all get there.
I'd love to, man. Fuck yeah, dude.
Fuck that. We'll go for my 40th birthday next year.
Boom, done.
Dude,
I'll show you guys.
I joked around with my wife. I said, that's what I want for my 40th. She said, you're not going.
We'll sell the rights. We'll license the show out, make a lot of money, and head out there. So that's it for this week's episode. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Well, you know what? You can find us on our usual social medias. You can subscribe to our show on iTunes. You can subscribe to our show on Google Play, and if you're digging the show, definitely leave us a 5-star review. You can also follow us as far as the social mediums are concerned. I got to get that right. What's the proper? It's social media. Anyway, you can follow us on Twitter at NJJ Show, Instagram at NJJ Show, or if you're on the Facebooks, search the Nick, John, and Jamie Show and follow our page. Thank you, everybody, for joining us for this week, and have an awesome week.